that development they're building, how could the runoff from that development, would that increase the probability of flooding in neighboring developments? And also, would that runoff potentially affect this cypress swamp we're in right now?
Okay, so stormwater, the stormwater runoff from the developments is going to enter into Peach Creek and the Wildlife Refuge, and with no plan for treatment. So it's just raw stormwater, okay? And raw stormwater can have all kinds of things in it. It can have fertilizers, nitrates, phosphates. It can have insecticides, whatever people are putting on their lawns. It can sweep up oil stains from cars, heavy metals, bits of brake lining, okay? Heavy metals, hydrocarbons, nitrate, phosphate, pesticides, insecticides, fertilizers. That kind of sums up stormwater runoff, okay? And this is an excellent question. Well, what's going to be the impact on this refuge? Well, the simple answer is, well, if you don't study it, then nobody knows. Okay, so this is what really a shame, is that nobody feels there's any obligation to talk about, well, what will be the impact of that development on the refuge. Okay, and I'm not just talking about the development that we're listening to right now. I mean, there's developments in progress or in the permitting stage or planned or proposed or desired all along the boundary of this refuge. And the cumulative impact of all those developments can be considerable. Okay, well, what's it going to be? Well, if you don't study it, you don't know. If you don't study baseline conditions, you don't know. So this is really a shame to have all this development going on without any environmental impact study, any study of how this might affect the refuge.
I guess, is there any final thoughts on this trip, and what are the steps forward? How can we slow or how can we bring about more sustainable, responsible development efforts?
Well, the path forward is not obvious, okay? Because we have a system that's basically rigged, where the developer is going to get his way, and I don't mind saying his because usually it is a man, okay? The developer is going to get his way because the system is rigged in his favor, okay? There's no place where the public can respond, where the public can vote, the public can have a referendum, the public can have their concerns taken seriously. There's a local government that is dominated by developers. I can't say for certain in this county. I know I've worked in other counties and cities in the southeast where the entire city council is developers. Okay, so the system is rigged in their favor. How are you going to change that system is not really an obvious thing to do. Okay, when you got a game that's rigged so you lose, sometime in some way you have to act outside of that game. Somehow you have to not play by those rules and make your own rules. I'm not saying it's obvious how to do that. Okay, this is often a dilemma faced by communities. Okay, they say we need independent scientists, we need scientific advice, we need to know the environmental impact. We need to know we need a study of flooding. Okay, those are all excellent questions. But just because communities have that information doesn't mean they have anything to do with that information. People say communities need knowledge, but often they already have the knowledge. They can engage a scientist to reinforce that knowledge, but then the issue is, well, what do they do with that knowledge? Who cares about that knowledge? Who's going to listen to that knowledge? Okay, these are not obvious. There's no obvious answers to those questions. Okay. Sometimes this is not really new what I'm saying, but it's something I often like to end with. Okay, is to think about future generations. To think about 2, 3, 5, 10 generations down the road. 10 generations, that's 300 years. That's not really that far down the road, okay? And to think about, what are they going to think about us? What are they going to think about their ancestors? A lot of the things that people do these days are essentially like a curse upon future generations. They're going to have to deal with fallout. They're going to have to deal with the outcome. And what are they going to think about us? That their ancestors left this curse for them to deal with. And, it's very standard. Many traditional societies, they hold their ancestors in such great respect. All the good things that they have, they owe to the ancestors. And just to think about our descendants, thinking about their ancestors like a curse, okay, that all the problems they have is due to their ancestors. Just something to think about.